Hey everybody, welcome to the third and hopefully the final lecture on the cranial nerves. Cranial nerve number 9 is the first one we're doing today. Cranial nerve number 9 is another mixed nerve. It's the glossopharyngeal nerve. It is coming off of the superior medulla oblongata, and we see it coming out right here, sneaking on through, and it is going to have both motor and sensory functions. Its motor functions are pretty simple. It has a somatic function, and the somatic function is to go to a pharyngeal muscle, and we can see, there we go, we can see that pharyngeal muscle hanging out right here. Now, its autonomic motor function is to go to this big salivary gland here, the parotid gland. Okay, so that's its motor function. In terms of sensory function, it is going to get the sensation of taste from the posterior third of the tongue, plus it's going to get sensory information from these carotid arteries here, and I'm talking sensory information about blood pressure, blood pH, and blood gas levels. All right, so we got that done. By the way, of course, the glosso refers to the tongue part, and the pharyngeal, of course, refers to the fact that we are dealing with the neck and this pharyngeal muscle right here that I've now completely covered up. All right, awesome. Let's do 3 more, I guess. I guess we have 4 to do today, don't we? So we just did the glossopharyngeal nerve. The next nerve we're going to do is the vagus nerve. It is also a mixed nerve, comes out of the medulla oblongata, not right at the middle of it right there. And this guy is pretty incredible. He is going to go to so many different places in the thoracic and abdominal cavity and in the cervical region. He's going to go to muscles for swallowing, so there's a somatic part right there. Plus, it's going to go to cardiac muscle in your heart, as well as smooth muscle in the stomach and in the intestines. Plus, it's going to glands. So think about like the glands in the stomach, glands in the intestine. We got our liver and gallbladder here as well. Plus, going to smooth muscle in the lungs. Muscles of the larynx. We said that already. Now, that's the motor part. The sensory part is also coming up. Sensation, stomach fullness, heart stretch, lung stretch, all coming back up to the brain by way of the vagus nerve. The word vagus means wanderer because this nerve goes so far into so many organs. All right. Awesome. So we just did the vagus nerve right there. Next up, we're going to do the accessory nerve. The accessory nerve is kind of weird. Some say it's not really a cranial nerve. Why do they say that? Because look, we got all these rootlets coming from the cervical spinal cord. Then all these rootlets are going up through a passageway to get into the skull, and then this, whoop, there, I messed that one up. Let's undo that. There we go. Up through a passageway to get into the skull, then immediately it takes a U-turn and comes back out. And it's basically just going to shoulder and neck muscles. It is going to your sternocleidomastoid muscle. This is a muscle. When you use both these muscles, it bends your neck forward. When you just use one, it causes contralateral rotation. Also, the accessory nerve goes to the trapezius muscle. This is a big diamond-shaped muscle on your upper back. If we drew the whole trapezius, it would be like that. It's a horribly ugly diamond right there. Anyhow, the trapezius muscle lets you shrug your shoulders. So if you shrug your shoulders right now, you'd be using your trapezius muscle and using your accessory nerve to stimulate it. So totally a motor. one here, and a weird one because it emanates from the cervical spinal cord. All right. Final cranial nerve to do. Once after we look at the accessory nerve right there. Last one to do is the hypoglossal nerve, which we see right here. Let's do that one. It's another motor one. Comes off the medulla. Sneaks out underneath the tongue. Goes to these extrinsic muscles of the tongue. So these are muscles that are going to make the tongue move. Like think about sticking your tongue out, moving your tongue around, using extrinsic muscles to do that. The hypoglossal nerve, literally hypo, under, glossal, tongue. It's under the tongue. It controls those muscles. All right. With that, we've done all 12. Remember, you got to know the basic facts about them, their number, and their names. I think I got one more slide after this one. There's our hypoglossal right there, number 12. If we look at this, can you figure out why these people are drawn like that? Probably you can. Do you see a 5 right here? And there's a 12, 10, 9 on the tongue. Shoulders are made out of an 11. Ears are made out of an 8. Can you find all the numbers in these two people and figure out why they put them there in the places that they did? All right. Awesome. I'll see you guys next time when we are talking about the autonomic nervous system.